There to you, honey, I'm on the that your days living on the land. Children obey your parents in the law. This is the law and the prophets. We read from scripture Ephesians 6:1-4 earlier on, and after that, the theme song, Honor Your Mother and Father by Desmond Decker. It's still a part of Child Month observances, still paying tribute to the children, extra special tribute in this month of May, Child Month. We're also still in the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, the Decade of Action for Road Safety, and the UN International Decade of Indigenous Languages. It's the 24th day of the 5th month of 2024, and we also want to remind ourselves of the American Hospital Association and affiliated American health organizations marking May as Mental Health Awareness Month, Stroke Awareness Month, Arthritis Awareness Month, Better Hearing and Speech Month, Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month, Global Employee Health and Fitness Month, Healthy Vision Month, Hepatitis Awareness Month, Melanoma, Skin Cancer Detection and Prevention Month, Asthma and Allergy Awareness Month, Celiac Disease Awareness Month, High Blood Pressure Education Month, Osteoporosis Awareness and Prevention Month, Physical Fitness and Sports Month, Teen Pregnancy Prevention Month, and Older Americans Month. And in terms of, well, we got a call off air from one of our listeners who is paying attention, tells us he's paying attention to the weather system, and was just sharing some of his knowledge with us off air. We perhaps could get him on board one of these days. But thank you very much for your inquiry. The Battle of Pinchincha is being remembered in Ecuador. It's Bermuda Day in Bermuda, Commonwealth Day in Belize, Day of Slavonic Script or Education Day in Bulgaria, Liberation Day in Eritrea, and Saints Cyrillus and Methodius Day in Macedonia. It's World Schizophrenia Day. World Schizophrenia Day. Now, we don't want to take it for granted that everybody knows and has an idea of what is schizophrenia. And since we have an opportunity to share, we're going to just briefly outline it as it is organized, as the information is organized. We shall relate it as it is organized. So the schizophrenia, and that's spelled SCHIZOPHRENIA. That's SCHIZOPHRENIA. Schizophrenia. It's a serious mental disorder. I beg your pardon. Schizophrenia is a serious mental disorder that affects how people interpret reality. Schizophrenia is a serious mental disorder that affects how people interpret reality. And what we also know is that schizophrenia it's a condition, a mental health condition that affects how people think, feel, and behave. Schizophrenia is a serious mental health condition that affects how people think, feel, and behave. It may result in a mix of hallucinations, delusions, and disorganized thinking and behavior. Hallucinations involve seeing things or hearing voices that aren't observed by others. Delusions involve firm beliefs about things that are not true. Delusions involve firm beliefs about things that are not true. People with schizophrenia can seem to lose touch with reality, which can make daily living very hard. People with schizophrenia need lifelong treatment. This includes medicine, talk therapy, and help in learning how to manage daily life activities. Because many people with schizophrenia don't know they have a mental condition and may not believe they need treatment, many research studies have examined the results of untreated psychosis, psychosis, psychosis. People who have psychosis that is not treated often have more severe symptoms, more stays in a hospital, poorer thinking and processing skills, and social outcomes, injuries, and even death. On the other hand, early treatment often helps control symptoms before serious complications arise, making the long-term outlook better. And this information is available at the online Mayo Clinic, MAYO Clinic, CLINIC. There's more in a moment, and if you're from Trelawney, Falmouth in particular, stand by.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15. Mass party, I owe your pepper and tomato feel a shine so like Morning Star.
Wait, then you not hear about the new mighty side name Pegastar from Caribbean Chemicals? I hit me use, man. And from me start use it, why the results is so tremendous.
Make me go grab a bottle of Pegastar up at the farm store there.
Star up your field with Pegastar, Mighty Side Insecticide, 2-in-1. Be safe, read the label, wear your PPE. Pegastar, distributed by Caribbean Chemicals and available at farm stores island-wide.
Children of Israel, take the land. This is a law and not prophets.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world and throughout the program, taking your calls on 876 922 4112 to 5, 876 922 4112 to 5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. And good afternoon to those of you who have joined us online, like Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine. Good afternoon to Catherine. Love listening to you and your program, she says. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Valerie Weller Peck says, good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon, Valerie Weller Peck. Cheryl Chensu says, pleasant good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. Have yourself a wonderful, relaxed, full weekend. It's a joy to be part of your program. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Keep those messages coming in here on both sides of the story. Natalie Winter, good afternoon to you too. She says she's shouting out those who are viewing public, members of the viewing public, and those listening worldwide. Thank you very much, and all the best, very best. So one of the beautiful things about coming from a place that we believe to be unique is that we can carry it wherever we go. We can carry the culture, we can carry the heritage, we can carry the experience of our people, and our people can carry the heritage and the experience and the treasures all over the world. And so it has become the norm over the years to form associations, organizations, institutions that can help to preserve the rich cultural heritage and community awareness that is necessary to keep the interest going, not just at home, but also abroad. And in fact, that's where we're going now, because there's an organization called the Friends of Falmouth. Friends of Falmouth. And the president is Mr. Michael Watkis. And they're having a very special weekend of celebrations. And as soon as he is ready, we will hear from him. Michael Watkis, the president of the organization known as the Friends of Falmouth. Their upcoming 44th staging, you see what I mean? This is the 44th staging of their reunion weekend, Trelawney reunion weekend in New York. And we want you, our very special listeners, to spread the word so that they can have a successful event, because the funds raised will go towards the development of their parish, the parish of Trelawney, and in particular, well, the parish of Trelawney, and naturally the town of Falmouth. But I'm not the man from Falmouth. The man from Falmouth in Trelawney is Michael Watkis. So let's hear from him. Michael Watkis, good afternoon to you. How are you?
Oh, well, thank you, Dervan. Thank you. Good afternoon from New York.
Wonderful. It's good to talk with you, and we're anxious to get an insight into what this weekend will look like in New York and the implications, positively so, for Falmouth, Trelawney, Jamaica.
Yes, Dervan, this is, you well know, this is a very special weekend for Trelawney. From all over the globe. This is the weekend, Memorial Weekend here in North America, where we have people from all over the world, from the UK to Canada, all across North America, from Australia, from all the world coming to New York, starting today, for a long weekend of celebration. Lots of things going on over the weekend.
Yes.
Lots of festivities.
And it's amazing that as an organization, you've all been able to keep it going for 44 years.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It all started 44 years ago as a picnic, a Sunday picnic in the Bronx.
Yes.
And then they moved to Rockland County. And then it remained a picnic for many, many years with called Keep Growing, Growing, Growing.
Mhm.
And towards, about 2002, 2003, when I got involved back then with Mr. Patrick Bedford back then, we decided that where if so many people from Trelawney and Falmouth are gathering in one place, why not just extend this into a full weekend?
Mhm.
So we started having a fundraising gala on the Friday night, and then the Saturday we started having something much more serious, where we started looking at different business and investment opportunities in Falmouth and Trelawney, and then of course continued the picnic, and then in the last few years it has been extended now on to Monday. So trust me, it's something amazing.
It's growing. It keeps going.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, what does this year's event look like?
Yeah, well, I'm more specifically, I'm the president of Friends of Falmouth, and
Okay.
while there are many other events going on, I could share that with you, but more specifically as it relates to me and my organization, Friends of Falmouth,
Yes.
we're having a fundraising brunch, symposium and brunch tomorrow in Brooklyn. And we have a panelist and people coming from Jamaica, from the mayor and to some councilors are coming up, and all to share with people here in the diaspora, the Trelawney Falmouth diaspora, about all the new developments and opportunities that are happening in Falmouth. So that's our brunch tomorrow, but it's a fundraiser. We have adopted the Falmouth Infant School as our signature project for the next few years. And our fundraiser, as part of the brunch symposium and brunch, is to raise money to support the school. But the larger goal is to get the Falmouth and Trelawney diaspora involved in what's happening. So keep them
Or both?
both. We could do.
Okay. And what is a sense that
Yeah.
there is a buzz around the event?
Yeah, there's certainly a buzz of, we've gotten a lot of media coverage, but especially in Brooklyn, one of our friends and supporters last year and continues to this year is the New York State Assemblyman, Mr. Brian Cunningham, and he will be our guest presenter at the symposium tomorrow. And he has Jamaican roots. His mom grew up in Falmouth. So, and he brought his mom there last year. So he's a rising star in the political world in New York State. So it was an honor to have him last year and to have him back this year to spend some time with us.
Oh, great.
So it really says a lot about us here in the diaspora get more intimately and more intentionally involved in the community life here in New York, and
to what extent is the organization maintaining its original mission? Has there been any significant change?
No. Friends of Falmouth is only 5 years old, and our main function is to act as an advocacy group and to keep advocates for different social, political, and of course business development in Falmouth. But our mission remains the same. But other groups like Friends of Trelawney, who I'm sure you were with them a few years ago.
Yes.
Their mission has remained the same, to really continue to work on projects that benefit different areas of interest throughout Falmouth, as well as in the diaspora. And Falmouth and Trelawney. Our focus is singular on Falmouth, Friends of Falmouth, because the summer Dervan, I'm sure you may see the news every day. Falmouth is now regarded as one of the fastest growing towns in not only Western Jamaica, but Jamaica, even not the Caribbean.
True.
I mean, new hotel developments, business developments, and you name it, it's happening in Toronto right now. I think over the last 8 years at least, almost 10 new hotels have opened in Falmouth and Toronto.
Mm-hmm. And
the cruise ship here and everything else in between.
And how is that being received by the people of the town of Falmouth, the Friends of Falmouth?
Well, one of the general concerns we hear all the time is that the impact of the growth in the tourism sector is not trickling back into the local economy.
Oh.
And local Torontoites and Falmouthans in Falmouth and Toronto are not receiving, or either they're not receiving the opportunity or that they're not taking advantage of the opportunity that exists. Quite often, the complaints we hear is that outsiders come in and take advantage of all the monies that are flowing into the local economy. So that's one of the biggest complaints we hear every year, and one which will get the mayor and the councillors to address.
Okay. And how synergistic is the relationship between the municipality and its people and its supporters, contributors? What are the relationships like?
In terms of the overseas groups or the local groups?
Right. Well, a combination of all stakeholders. Is there a synergy, or it's?
Yeah, there appears to be a synergy. In the diaspora here, we have a very special Friends of Falmouth. We have a very open.
Hold on, one moment. Tell us some more right after this break, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30. Farmers, want to increase the size of your fruits while maximizing your yield? Use Cytoplex. Cytoplex is a natural seed plant extract with cytokinin, auxin, and gibberellic acid that stimulates root development, lateral branching, flowering, and fruit development. Grow bigger roots and fruits with Cytoplex, the #1 root and fruit size enhancer. Cytoplex, distributed by Caribbean Chemicals and available at farm stores island-wide.
Back it and pin it, every rubbish in a pan. The dirty of the place, this a PB island. So keep Jamaica, send it to breathe, keep Jamaica clean. Better listen to me, please. No plastic, man, no fear blowing at the breeze. So, grab a garbage, disposal, recycle plastic, no make it pull up in the streets. Back it and pin it, every rubbish in a pan. The dirty of the place, this a PB island. So keep Jamaica, send it to breathe. Unless you're national solid waste management authority.
Mothers, as the devil do to you. Honey, your mother that is making long on the line. Children obey your parents in the law. This is the law. and the prophets.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. This afternoon, we're featuring the Friends of Falmouth, the organization known as Friends of Falmouth. Michael Watkis is the president of Friends of Falmouth, and he has been sharing with us information relative to his organization. So you were sharing with us the level. I think I had asked the question of the synergy in your community in Falmouth. You get a sense that they're working together as a team so that together everyone achieves more.
Before the break, I was saying here in the diaspora, we have an open communication with primarily the mayor's office. Current mayor is Steve Collins Wager, and we currently have an open door policy with them. Whenever we members of our board, we visit quite often, including myself. We're always in Falmouth. We love our town. We're always in Falmouth, and we have an open door policy with the mayor to discuss and make recommendations, and it's an open communication. And then locally, from what I see, I know, for example, right now there's a big movement right now to really to reform the local chamber of commerce. I see that, and I think over the summer there'll be lots of meetings happening to reform and to give the local chamber of commerce a big boost, to really get the local business people and the local social sector get more actively involved in what's happening in the fast growing growth of the town. There's so many things happening. Artisan Village was just opened a few weeks ago. New hotel was opened about 2-3 weeks ago. Rio. So there's so many things happening. New shopping center, you name it, is what's happening in and around Falmouth.
And I saw earlier this year that the mayor was outlining plans for further development of the Falmouth Transportation Center.
Yes, that was a big opening, and that just keeps expanding and developing and just really getting that together. But that's been a big boost for business development, the transportation center.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure tomorrow when the mayor meets with us in New York, he's going to update the crowd. We're expecting about 100 or so people tomorrow for the brunch, 100 or more. So we expect the mayor to give us a full update about all the new developments, including the transportation center, which when he was here last year, he actually announced that it was coming on stream. But it's here, and from what I heard, it's flourishing, and it's really impacting business in and around Falmouth.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing to have community conscious people, just ensuring that the respective community is able to function efficient and effectively, and that questions can be asked of the leadership of the municipality and related matters.
Absolutely.
Yes, wherever in the world you are, you get a little notification. Well, I don't know if that happens now, but some news what do they call it?
Yeah.
Some kind some kind of alert or notification to tell you what's happening when there is a new development in your community, or if something else of note is happening, that you can be updated. And
Absolutely, yeah.
yes, but I like the idea of, even abroad, while you're abroad, you're helping to hold the municipality to a certain standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why we say we're an advocate group, because we really keep our fingers on the pulse of what's happening in Falmouth and the parish,
Mm-hmm.
and really try to communicate that that energy and and keep the information flowing here. Because it's quite easy for us here in the diaspora, to get so busy with our lives and what's happening with us here. We get disengaged.
Yes.
And lose communication. But we made sure that was a key part of our mission to keep Falmouthans and Trelawnites, informed.
Yes.
About every single thing that's happening. It could be crime or whatever it is, a new shop opening or a new business, new resort, or
Yeah, sort of welcoming them to the area. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, they must always
So we
feel.
use our social media. We use our social media to really get that out to the public, and our social media pages are very active when it comes to that regard.
Yeah, because you also want them to feel special and a part of the family, so to speak.
Yes, indeed.
And
Yes, indeed.
I mean that can go miles in terms of the impact of that kind of connection.
Yes.
Yeah. So can you give us an idea? Well, I've been there, but just for the rest of our listeners, of the of how the celebration is usually set up.
Yes. So I assume you're referring to the big picnic in New York, which I know you've been there before.
Yes.
And for most of you who have never been there before, it's something amazing to
Experience. It is.
Yes, which the picnic attracts every year in Rockland County, Rockland Lake Park, anywhere from an average of 8 to 12,000 people every year. And it's a family gathering. It's a family fun day where people from all over, not only Toronto, but in recent years, it started attracting people from other parishes. So that's a big, wide open picnic. People bring their tents, their grills, their families, and it's a big picnic. It's not a festival. It's just a picnic. In the early days, we used to walk around, and then we could easily walk around from a man that said, they get a piece of your roast yam, or you have a piece of fish, or sometimes people know you. They say, hey, come over here, Michael, and see some of mine, whatever, some chicken. And so it's a big, wide open picnic, and people have, and people are there, and have just a wide open picnic, and just fun and reminiscing and eating and laughing for hours, and just rekindling old times, and just a big family fun day. Children, second, third generation Falmouthans and friends, just moving around and just having fun, reconnecting.
And what kind of support have you been receiving over the years in keeping nation's work going?
So I've not been intimately involved with the picnic, but another friends of Toronto, they've been the ones involved in running picnic.
Okay.
Yes. So they would have to speak to that, to the type of support. But it's been going well from what I see. I was here last year, and I see a lot more sponsors and supporters, and it's well attended year after year, and people just automatically just show up for this thing. It's amazing to watch.
I can well imagine. And some good Jamaican food out there too.
Oh yeah, good Jamaican food. You name it, tarts and Jamaican specialties are there. And as I said, not much is sold. People just start planning a week in advance, start cooking and preparing, and then early in the morning, like 7 o'clock in the morning, you'll see waves of cars and trucks and minivans, everything that's rolling in, people putting up their grills and their tents, and they find a spot in the park to set up and have their own spot, their own music. And it's just something, it's just a beautiful experience. And I look forward to it every year.
Yes, and why shouldn't you? It is a a good way to maintain the traditions and the warmth of the people.
Yeah. And one more thing, everyone, I must mention. I mean,
Sure.
It's such a blessing that after 44 years, there's never been an incident.
Wow.
That speaks volume for such a large gathering of Jamaicans, and just so peaceful, smiles in abundance, and it just brings joy to my heart when I think about Ceylon being such a special place, and people from the parish just come together. One thing I've really enjoyed over the last few years, just to see different people from different districts, like Buena, Monterey, Granville, whatever the town is, people get together in a section, and you could walk around, and if you grew up in Salt Marsh or whatever you were as a kid, and as a young, you went to school with someone, and you want to find out someone from Rye, or Fountain, whoever in Shilani, whatever it is, you come down, you could go find people, and that's what makes it such fun.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Right. So those listening who want to ensure that they are on board one way or another, what's a good way to follow the work of the Friends of Falmouth?
Well, the easiest way to follow us on Facebook, we have a very strong following of 7,000 people on our Facebook page.
How many? You had said it earlier. I missed it. Sorry.
Several thousand, yeah, on our Facebook page, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we kind of post and communicate and engage with our followers. So Friends of Falmouth, find us on Facebook, and just stay connected and just find out all that's happening. And people message us every day, our board of directors, especially led by Mr. Harry Peter Johnson and Derek Scott, or some of our key people in Lang Fall. You could find someone from the parish and just stay connected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can well
I just
understand.
want to point out something else.
Sure, feel free.
Earlier,
yes,
about just the growing, the growth of the reunion weekend. I was posting last night, and it occurred to me how many different things are happening.
Mm-hmm.
So we have naturally our fundraising brunch tomorrow.
Hold on, sorry to cut again, but we need to take a break. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
Is a real good meat to eat. Roasted jacket, anyway you do it. It have enough more protein than you think. Enough vitamins for good for your system. Pork is a real good meat to eat. Roasted jacket, anyway you do it. So delicious, nutritious, it's full of B12 and B6. The meat is sweet. Pork is a real good meat to eat. Jamaican pork, always a healthy choice. The tastier protein choice. A message from the Jamaica Beef Farmers Association.
And the prophet, love your parents, and how you love yourself. Do unto others as they would do to you. Honor your mother that your days may be long on the line.
Michael A. Watkis is the president of Friends of Falmouth. That's the organization with deep Jamaican roots. Will be hosting a symposium and brunch on Saturday. This Saturday, that's tomorrow, the 25th of May, from 12 noon to 4 in the afternoon in Brooklyn, New York. And the New York State Assembly member Brian Cunningham of the 43rd District who has strong Jamaican roots, will declare open the New York-based Friends of Falmouth Symposium and Brunch tomorrow, Saturday, the 25th of May, as we said, from midday to 4 p.m. in Brooklyn. Please spread the word, although we know it has long gone out, and the numbers perhaps are just climbing even more as we speak. So, are we on point in that regard?
Yeah, and as I like to say, the brunch tomorrow is only one slice of the long, exciting July reunion weekend. And just before the break, I was saying, in addition to our brunch, Speaking actually kicks off tonight. I know there's a fundraising gala somewhere in Queens. And tomorrow and Saturday, we kind of start off the day with our brunch. But I see later on in the night, we have different farmers and children on the link up in Brooklyn. I think there's the William Never Association is also doing another brunch. And then I see what's been going on. Dale from the Bronx, he's having an big all-white party. I think
Dale Getfield.
Dale Getfield, right? Chilana we come from.
Yes.
Big all-white band, which is growing every year. That's big. If you're into that scene, Dale Getfield's all-white party, which is tomorrow night.
Mm.
And then I'm sure some other things happening. And then Sunday's a picnic, and then I think the William Nib Alumni Association, William Nib Memorial High School Alumni Association, I think they have a picnic also in the Bronx and on Monday. And the Scarlett family, they've been doing it for almost 20 years also. They have a picnic on Monday also. So you see, Dervan, stuff happening.
Yeah.
For too long, yes.
Very, very busy.
And yeah, people, several. I think there's a bus coming from Canada. Canadians, they're coming in also, and some people, a young lady, a family from Australia, contacted me yesterday. They're coming in. Several people from the UK are coming into New York, and they're inquiring about hotel stays and all that. So this is a really exciting time for us to put the map, the parish on the map, and let people in the diaspora get to know our little parish in our town, Falmouth.
Absolutely. Haven't been in a long time though. I need to change that.
Yeah, you're overdue, Dervan.
Yes.
Yeah, we keep in brand Jamaica strong here.
Yes, indeed. Well. We really want to congratulate you and your fellow parishioners, your colleagues with whom you would normally fraternize, as they say. And it's good to keep that energy going in the community.
Yes, we're excited. We're excited, Dervan. It's a real exciting weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine, you see Charles' friends that you went to infant or primary school with 30, 40, 50 years ago, and just walking around and say, "Hey, I remember you," and just reconnect right away. It's an amazing experience.
Yes,
yeah.
It must be. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
But
so
most importantly, I want to emphasize this event, especially on our end. We want to give people in the diaspora a sense of how they can not only give back to whatever's happening in Jamaica and their parish, but how can they invest? We're looking at the bigger picture. We have a bigger picture here. We have a larger bird's eye view of how people can actually, return and build and grow their families back home.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of our major focus here.
Okay. Well, we are quite humbled and honored to be able to share these developments and these goals and plans and action that you've been engaged in as a group. We trust that this group will continue to grow in service to the community and by extension, Jamaica.
Yes.
So we,
And again,
mhm.
if there are a lot for folks to stay connected with us, reach us. You can reach us on connect with us on Facebook, and we have a main number. I could share that number,
Sure.
and people could connect with us. Number is 973-735-7059. Again, that's 973-735-7059.
Got you.
And we could connect you and answer all your questions.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, we look forward to that. We look forward to a successful Falmouth Trelawney reunion exercise. And from all indications, it is going to go well. I can tell.
Yes. And we're going to have great weather too, so that's helpful. When we have great weather, people come out in droves.
I can just imagine.
We like nice weather.
By all means.
It's not been cold here, so
not at all. Good. All right. Well, we thank you very much for sharing with us this afternoon, Mr. Watkins. You've given us chapter and verse, and we will continue to spread the word and encourage support for your organization as you continue to impact lives, whether it be in Falmouth or the parish of Trelawney itself. So whether the town of Falmouth, the parish of Trelawney, and ultimately the country called Jamaica. We really salute you and all the others who continue to play their part in making Jamaica a better place.
Yeah, and thanks again for the opportunity to share.
Well, it's the least we can do. As I always say, you're the ones doing the heavy lifting. We yes, we just feel honored to be able to share your story, your work with Jamaicans at home and abroad. Well done.
Thank you so much again.
It's been a pleasure.
A pleasure. Thank you so much.
Okay, You're welcome. Take care. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. We just concluded an interview with the president of the Friends of Falmouth, Mr. Michael A. Watkins. It's a very special weekend for Trelawney natives gathering in New York for the 44th reunion. And New York State Assembly member Brian Cunningham of the 43rd District, who has strong Jamaican roots, will declare open the New York-based Friends of Falmouth Symposium and Brunch tomorrow, Saturday, the 25th of May, from 12 noon to 4 in the afternoon in Brooklyn, New York. And just a word on Assembly member Cunningham, who was raised in Flatbush by Jamaican immigrant parents, including his mother, who was born and raised in Falmouth. His deep connections to the Jamaican community in Brooklyn highlight the significance of this event and its focus on strengthening the bonds within the Jamaican diaspora. Those words from Michael A. Watkins, president of Friends of Falmouth, FOF. In making the announcement, Michael A. Watkins, president of Friends of Falmouth, said the symposium and brunch are being held, or is being held, it's a symposium and brunch being held to bring together residents of Falmouth living in the tri-state area and beyond, with the aim of updating them on the myriads of businesses, economic and cultural developments in the parish, etc. And the participants will have the exclusive opportunity to engage with key government agencies from the parish, unlocking access to the latest emerging opportunities and innovations. The event will be held at the Major R. Owens Health and Wellness Community Center, 1561 Bedford Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Tickets are $50 for the brunch, $50 if you're brunching. And also this message. Oh, some additional information. Watkis highlighted the importance of the event within the broader context of the Trelawney Memorial Day weekend celebrations in New York, which is now in its 44th year. And the weekend is a testament to the enduring spirit and unity of the Jamaican diaspora. And the events, including the Friends of Falmouth fundraiser, the vibrant dances, mega family picnic, and high school reunions, all serve to strengthen the Friends of Falmouth resilient bonds and collective aspirations. These gatherings reflect the deep connection we maintain with our heritage, said Watkis, and the ongoing commitment to uplift our community, both here and back home. Friends of Falmouth is a New York-based nonprofit organization focused on championing the rich cultural heritage of the historic town and advocating for suitable economic and social development in the town. Watkis added that one of the goals of Friends of Falmouth is to keep members and supporters updated on historic Falmouth and how the town is evolving as one of the fastest growing in Jamaica. Over the past decade, Falmouth has seen many changes and developments, including becoming a port of call for some of the world's largest cruise liners. I am thrilled to announce that Falmouth Mayor Colin Gager will headline our event as one of the main presenters, he said, leading a distinguished delegation that includes two esteemed former mayors, councillors, Garth Wilkinson and Fred Bartley. Let's go for another break here on Both Sides of the Story.
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high-quality concrete products. The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
3 o'clock.
With over 40 years of record service, Lock Safe and Vault Limited is your trusted security provider. Get affordable prices on a wide variety of seals, garage doors, access control supplies, magnetic lock, fingerprint, weatherproof keypad, card access system, time attendance, power supplies, and exit buttons. Professional services provided. Visit 40 Shortwood Road, Kingston 8. Problem solved with Lock Safe and Vault.
The Kingston and St. Andrew Association of Brand Societies of the JAS, in association with the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, presents its annual Agricultural, Industrial and Food Show, AgriFest, Saturday, May 25 at the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining Playfield, 6 Hope Gardens, Kingston, under the theme Grow What We Eat, Eat What We Grow. Join Power 106 FM from 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. for a live broadcast from this event and see farmers showcase their produce. Also, various stakeholders in the agricultural and industrial sectors being featured. This broadcast is brought to you by the Kingston and St. Andrew Association of Brand Societies of the JAS, the Jamaica 4-H Clubs, Agri Investment Corporation, and the Scientific Research Council, SRC. That's a broadcast from the Kingston and St. Andrew ABS's Agricultural, Industrial and Food Show, AgriFest, this Saturday, May 25 at the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining Playfield, 6 Hope Gardens, Kingston, 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM.
Honey, your mother got you, things me belong. on the land. Children obey your pretend the law. This is the law.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. We're now taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. And the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. And let's see what we have here. Let's go to the phone lines, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
I was listening with rapt attention to your interview.
Thank you.
And yes, and it's always pleasant to know that we have such a incredible footprint, we as Jamaicans, to do impossibly good things, and that we don't have a tendency to forget where we're coming from.
Which is a good thing, isn't it?
Yes, it's a brilliant thing.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me almost reluctant to delve into something that I think is germane and pertinent. Us collectively learning from some of the lessons that others have learned, especially in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
I had an experience recently where a young woman that I'd met several weeks ago and had a very pleasant conversation with ended up in the news for all the wrong reasons. And it got me to thinking that in the U.S., certain recurring problems have been examined and solutions offered that kind of make a difference. And I was going to try to make a suggestion that we try to do the same here in a very specific way. The young lady that I met several weeks ago, right in front of my office in Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth, apparently was a witness to a murder. And earlier this week, on Monday morning, unfortunately, she became a victim of murder herself.
Oh, no.
Yes, ostensibly, it would have been because of the case that she was involved in. And it got me to thinking, Sir Malcolm, that, if I were to witness something, I would definitely go to court and testify, notwithstanding the risk and everything that it would pose to me. But I am thinking that legislation can be enacted, as was done in the United States, to put the brakes on this thing. As far as I'm aware, in the U.S., after many, many, many instances of witnesses being killed for their not being able to offer evidence in court, legislation there was passed that allows for witness statements to be excluded from the hearsay rule, so that if a person becomes unavailable because of their being murdered or somehow removed from the equation, their statement is tendered into evidence as a uncontested version of fact, so that a defendant would not then have the ability to confront an accuser, but the testimony, the evidence that can secure a conviction would still be in place. And by doing that, it removes the incentive that some of these people have to act in this manner toward persons who are doing what is right and civically responsible. I'm not a lawyer, but I think persons who listen to your program who are, and persons who might even be in a position to lobby for legislative changes should do so, because the young lady in question, I don't think she was even 25 years old. A very charming lady, overtly quite attractive and beautiful, and with a character that exuded the beauty that she possessed externally. And to think that something this abhorrent could happen to her for no fault of her own. She witnessed something and she was willing to do the right thing. And these people, went and did this thing to her. So that's why I was reluctant to bring up such a negative after hearing such a positive. But it's that we can learn from what the US has had to learn in a painful way. And we need to do something. We need to take a stand and take our country back. So that's my contribution to the program this afternoon, Sir Malcolm.
No, we appreciate it. Thank you very much for the call.
All right, Sir Malcolm.
And sorry, notwithstanding the circumstances of that situation. Sorry about that. Thanks for the call. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Here's Henry Morant. Mr. Morant, good afternoon to you. How are you?
Good afternoon, my brother and my friend. I'm giving thanks. The Father is still keeping me at 82 going 83. He has kept me experiencing good health and sanity. So I keep praying unceasingly that He will preserve my path and direct my ways through the mysteries of His Son, our Savior and Redeemer, Christ Jesus.
Amen.
And I wish same for you. Why I call you today is that proposal that I put forward, my perception of what our
Constitution
should look like for the new father. I notice it has not been getting any airplay. But I recall that the R.J.R. Gleaner, indicated to me sometime that they will stand up 50% of the publication and I should find sponsors to cover the other 50%. And I'd like to have it now because it is ripe, the season is ripe that this kind of publication be here on a Sunday and on a Wednesday, so that it can help to bring some light and appeal to the listeners and to the Jamaican community, both at home and abroad, because in everything you do, there are always something there that you can copy from. If you notice, the construction of that document is a true reflection of the U.S. Constitution. And say what we want is one of the most balanced constitution we have in the world today. That it does not give any overlap and give no one man or no grouping no undue power. It creates a balance. The Congress, the Senate, they have to ratify, where the president choose a team and it is ratified by the Congress. The team have to be people that can stand scrutiny in all facets of their lives. We need something in the semblance of that kind out here to minimize the continuity of unfortunate misconduct that tantamount to hurt and ills of our brothers and sisters.
Have you
misconduct in a very contrite manner, so as not to let people feel bitter? I use it.
Have you been able to attend any of the constitutional review committees?
I'll tell you something, my brother. I have indicated to Mrs. Malawo Fort. I've indicated to the other lady that I knew her father well, who deals with foreign affairs. And the response were good, but I have not been given a chance to sit into any of those forums that I can express myself so that it could get spread some ripples across. And we need town hall meetings. We don't want to close shop. We need open town halls meeting, resemble that of which we were doing when Bustamante and Norman Manley were doing Federation, and you campaign across the island. And at the time, it is evident that we weren't as advised as today, but we were more astute in what you call commitment to consciousness. If you listen, Peter Phillips, and the program, the Sunday's program, and he spoke of his school days at Jamaica College between himself and Bruce Golding. It was a different era. The consciousness was so high that even from those early days, people looking at the way in which they believe the country should go. Regrettably and unfortunately, today, we are in trouble. 70% of our people is left in the wilderness. And our politicians need to wake up and start to put programs in place that will start from good kindergarten upward to university. Dervan, I've been in Cuba 4 times. Twice at the request of the government, and then one go up at the government, then going there to look at early childhood education. After spending many weeks looking around the system and I came back, I sat myself down and I prepared a very comprehensive document and submitted to the government. I even had breakfast with them at Jamaica House today. And to my surprise, they have not implemented nothing that any semblance of a good early childhood system. All I could have been told by a former cabinet minister sometime down the line, oh, Mr. Barrett approaches that of a communist. You know, if you present something that will transform and organize the people, guide them into good structured system that will make us become more and more alert and advanced, committed, dedicated people, you call it communism. When you go to Cuba, school keep on a Saturday for slow learners. Early morning, we could take up the kids for kindergarten, and they are cared for, well treated, and the system makes such a great transition to Cuba. But when you think of the history of Batista as against the great Fidel Castro, the late Fidel Castro, a man I met, and I tell you, I will pray that the Lord put him in a very special place in his kingdom. Yes. But I'm going to, through you, I'm hoping that you can open back the window for we to have a quick run through on the program of that draft, that it will appeal to those who supposedly putting together what you call these constitutional committee or bodies, that we can ventilate the thing and make people get to know what it's all about.
All right, let's see how that goes, because we're out of time for this segment.
Yes, so thank you most kindly to accommodate me.
Okay.
And I pray that the good Lord will continue to use you to serve your people the way you are serving them at home and abroad.
Thank you. Very humbling of you to say.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
All the best. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And I believe we still have calls coming in. Missed that one. Sorry about that. Maybe that caller got tired of holding. Sorry about that. And Robert C. Gray says, well, he has shared his number and he says, oh, we haven't taken the break yet? We took the break, right? We took the break. No? Sorry about that. Let's go straight to the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:16 on Power 106.
Are you looking for a powerful platform to promote your business in North America or the UK? Look no further than The Gleaner. Reach the diaspora and ignite brand awareness through our geo-targeted publications. Call 876-922-3400 or your Gleaner representative to explore the available options and book your ads. Or email us at advertising@gleanerjm.com. Actualize your brand's potential today with The Gleaner. For life and
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Please hold.
Love beyond parents, cause I'm you. Love beyond yourself. You and to others, as the day do you. And I'm
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Thanks for holding. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Go ahead, please.
How are you, man? You know, he's talking to you, right?
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Yeah. Actually, I'm in Iraq right now, so I would say vice out of Jamaica. Anyhow.
Welcome. Welcome home.
Yeah, man, thanks. I was calling you, you know, when I come to Jamaica, the custom officer, the immigration said, welcome home. It give me a goosebump. Because, you know, that's what I like to hear, welcome home, you know?
Yes.
When I'm coming home also, I like to come, when I come from Nigel Point, so I come into Montego Bay, I like to sit on the right side of the plane where I could see Nigel Point coming in. I never tried to see that rock coming in Dervan. It always excites me to see me come. That rock, when I see that rock coming in, that great mountain coming in from Nigel Point, it's amazing. Never tried seeing it. I've seen probably over 20, 30 times. Never tried seeing that rock. Just amazing. Just put that out there.
Yeah.
Have you flown into Montego Bay yet?
Yes. A few times.
Do you know that point I'm talking about? You're coming into Montego Bay, the plane flying in. You could from when you go to Cuba, you can see that horizon coming into Jamaica from Nigel Point. If you sit on the right, you have to get on the right side of the plane though. If you're on the left, you're not going to see anything because you will see ocean. I always try to sit on the right.
I'll do my best to remember that.
Yeah, sit on the right, and it's an amazing sight. You'll never forget it. Yeah, you'll see the Nigel Point coming in, and just mountainous, very green, lavish landscape, very beautiful. Yeah, you know, I was calling you last week, and I was like, oh my God, one guy, I think it was Friday or Thursday. One guy for 45 minutes. I was like, oh, I'm hoping that Dervan don't get tired of us calling him, or because one guy was on the line for a very long time. You remember that, or you don't remember?
Yes, man. We've had a few marathons.
Yeah. I was calling you, but I couldn't get you. And I kind of forgot the topic from last week. But I want to just run to the topic for this week, or the recent topic in the media. With the dual citizenship, as far as who's British, who's American, and who's Canadian. You know, Dervan, the only term that can come to my head, we are crab in a barrel. That's what we are. We are crab in a barrel. And we will do anything to pull each other down. Unfortunately, America is gonna come like that too, because I know people that are say, yeah man, America will Trump and all that stuff. It doesn't kind of become like that, yeah. But that's not these issues just not gonna get us nowhere. We are crab in a barrel. Well, you know, all the people running their mouth and talking, if they get the opportunity, they use the UK passport too. Because I mean, as you know, Jamaican passport only just can get you so many places. If you have a UK passport, it can get you a lot of places with no visa. If you have a US passport, same thing. And if people are running them out, they're not doing the same thing. Just like Mr. Golden have done. But guess what? They don't have it, so they don't have it. So yeah, let's tear each other down. And the same thing with when you come here and become a citizen. No man, no. Don't come back here and do nothing. We are crab in a barrel, and this is why our beloved country is just not going nowhere, because we tear each other down every chance we get. The PMP did it. The JLP doing it now. Where are we going, Dervan? Tell me, where this is going?
Exactly where that behavior leads.
Wow. So we are just back to square one, and we're not solving our issues. My beloved sister is in the hospital, and I visited her yesterday. Call her Janella. Let me just give a kudos to the nurse that I met there. She was very nice. That I heard bad things, and I got there. She was very, very nice. But Dervan, this state of the hospital, it's just alarming. Okay, so you still have these books, huge little books that they're writing in. Nothing. So in other words, the doctor can be the radiologist. She had to do an MRI. She had to go outside to do the MRI. They operating from a temporary place, and this hospital I've been fixing for many years now, Dervan. What? These are the issues we talk about, man. Forget about what passport. Okay, you know, somebody said if Kamala Harris had a Jamaican passport, Dervan, I don't the current temperature or the current atmosphere in America. No, I don't know where it came from, but it's there now. But years ago, no one would matter. It wouldn't be an issue. It wouldn't be. That's just not. It doesn't. I don't know. I don't know. It wouldn't be an issue, Dervan. No one would care if to come out and take on a Jamaican passport. As you know, in America, they only have one office that a foreigner cannot occupy is the presidency. You can be a congressman, you can be a senator, you can be you can be a governor. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger was the governor of California for many years, who was an American. And I get it. People say why, and no matter. I actually, when Schwarzenegger was there, there was a development that's saying that they should change it, because way back in 1700 when the U.S. fought for independence, they kind of make it that way because they didn't want the British government or the British government to infiltrate the American system. Those days are done and gone. I don't know. I think they probably should change it. If you qualify to be president, I think you should be able to serve. But not just one office. But why are we creating this huge problem in Jamaica? Why? We are just 3 million people, 4,000 square feet. Why are we creating this problem? Hello?
I'm not getting the question. Come again.
No. Okay, I'm saying to you, in America, foreigners like myself can be a governor, can be a senator, can be a congressman, can be a governor. The only office that we can occupy is the president. And I can tell you, if Kamala Harris were to apply for a Jamaican passport tomorrow morning, Very few people in America would give a rat about that, because that would be just so neutral to them. It would make no difference in their opinion. Okay, America is a different country. We are a superpower country. Why in Jamaica, with less than 3 million people, square footage of just over 4,000 square feet of square mile? Why are we so? Why are we so contagious, man?
Well,
why
that's
we create issues out of nowhere? Why? I keep asking myself.
well, people
Why?
have their own biases and their own tendencies and idiosyncrasies, and so you're not going to be able to escape.
But you don't realize that, Dervan, this is what always back.
Yeah, we have been talking about that for years.
I don't mind people have their opinion and things. I don't mind, but I like to be. But when you have these, and now the JLP had, sorry, the PMP got all the PMP for the same issue, basically, a similar issue. That was the same, similar. And now the JLP added with them. So now it's just creating this atmosphere that everyone in Jamaica, by the way, have some relatives from somewhere. Most of us, none of us, have some relatives from somewhere. So I'm just asking myself, why? Why are we so? Why? I don't get it. And we're just stuck in this little narrow tunnel. I don't get it. Oh man, I maybe understand, but I just don't get it.
Well, for some people, it's also known as a comfort zone. If you are comfortable where you are, no matter the conditionalities and everything else, you continue as usual.
I hear you, and I don't know. I'm baffled that people take these small issues. I mean, the man, Mr. Golden, he's born in Jamaica. Born Jamaican. And if anybody in Jamaica were to have an opportunity to own a British passport, you know, do the same thing. You could travel, you could go to Africa, you could go to the Caribbean, you could go anywhere on a British passport. Nobody stop you. Why don't you take it up? Why? If you come to America and realize that citizenship is something that's going to make you more, what do you call it? You know, it gives you more leverage in this country. Right?
Hold a moment, please. One moment.
Yeah, I'll finish that. Come back,
Mm-hmm.
Help us protect borders. Tell us about any illegal guns coming through customs-controlled areas. Call Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 3:30. Both sides of the story.
Confidence in those who serve, especially in the public sector, is vital to Jamaica's progress towards Vision 2030 and beyond. Many people have quietly and diligently given sterling service over the years to the benefit of many Jamaicans at home and across the world. Our 106 FM, in playing its part in showcasing those individuals who served in building our nation and to create greater public understanding and appreciation of their sacrifice, presents the feature Service Stalwarts. Listen to Service Stalwarts every Wednesday at 4 p.m. during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm right here on our 106 FM.
Both sides of the story.
Thanks for holding. Please continue.
I'm going to wrap up here. Most people who run them out, if they have a chance to own a British passport or come to America and realize being a citizen can enhance their life, they have done the damn same thing. So shut your mouth. And once the man is born in Jamaica, man is a Jamaican. Okay, if he acting his passport, he did it because it's an opportunity for him. Look at the leadership. Look who he is. I'm not a PNP. I'm not going from to Golden. But look who he is. Look what kind of person he is. Is he right for Jamaica? Is he saying the right thing? Oh my God! You know what? Let me get on this. I want to start. I'm so upset of the people that these people are sick, and all they can do is just crab in a barrel and tear each other down. That's all I see my people do. When I listen every time, there you go again. The next crab in a barrel that can tear each other down. They're not looking at the benefit what I can get out of this. Dervan, when I listen to politicians, I want to know what they're going to do for my children, my grandchildren, or my great-grandchildren. I'm a great. Because my grandmother, I'm great. Okay? That's only here. I don't give a rat about where the man have a past. Any active. Oh, God. Dervan, have a nice night, man. I'll try to listen to this 8 tomorrow in come on this program because I'm getting a little upset. I can't put up with foolishness. Sorry. Yeah, and that's why we put up with so much in Jamaica. That's why we have so much problem. Hospitals, the schools, the crime problem. There were 7 people that murdered like a couple of days last week. Did you hear about that?
Yes.
Yeah, 7 people in Little Island. You know, Long Island, you know, before I go here quickly, Long Island is probably about 2/3 of Jamaica. In Long Island, and people don't say, Long Island is a rich place, 2 counties, Nassau and Sussex. I don't think there are 5-10 people murdered last year in Long Island, man. We have in 1 week, we have 10 people. Yeah. We were running about what passport I'm going to use. Dervan, have a nice time, man. Nice talking to you.
You too.
Bless up,
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And good afternoon to Robert C. Gray and the St. Catherine High School family. Thank you very much for keeping in touch. Joan in Bermuda is in touch with us as well, sharing a couple of pictures. It's a celebratory event showcasing Jamaican culture and heritage. And she has shared that. Thank you very much, Joan in Bermuda. We'll take a look at the other pictures whenever we're able to. Thank you. Let's go to the phone lines once again. 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number. 876-365-3346. Let's go to Steve McDonald in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Good afternoon, Steve. How are you? Thank you very much for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, Dervan. I'm very well. And let me just state my Jamaican team that I was born in Jamaica, grew up in Westmoreland in a small place called Lennox Bigwood in Darliston and Sablamar and sometime in Grange Hill. And I also spent some time in Kingston before I immigrated to Canada. I'm also a Canadian citizen. So I am a member of the diaspora. I'm a member of the Commonwealth. And I will not choose to say people who have a difference of opinion are sick. But I am of the view that whoever is going to be Prime Minister of Jamaica should only have Jamaican citizenship, only, and don't have allegiance or any citizenship of any other country. So if I intend to offer myself to be Prime Minister of Jamaica, I would want to, me or anybody else, should relinquish any other ties, renounce any other affiliation to any other country. And I don't begrudge Mr. Mark Golden his British passport. And I think we need to move our conversations from personalities and try and approach it from principle when we're having these conversations. And yes, if somebody wants to have a British passport or a Canadian passport or a US passport, that's fine and well. And when they're finished traveling the world at that point, and they renounce that citizenship, and they can only have, and they only decide to have a Jamaican citizenship, then that at that time and that time only, they should offer themselves to be Prime Minister of Jamaica. Those are my views on that. And I know what the Constitution says. As a matter of fact, our Constitution actually allows for a Commonwealth citizen who has no ties with Jamaica, is not a Jamaican citizen, only has, I think, 14 months residency, if I remember correctly, to become a parliamentarian and also Prime Minister of Jamaica. How can that make any sense to anyone, right? That don't make any sense. Obviously, whoever wrote our Constitution, because I can never for the life of me, upon learning that, believe that our Constitution was written, or that section of our Constitution was written by a Jamaican or someone who held the benefits of Jamaican and more so a pro-Jamaican, to be willing to allow someone who only has 14 months residency in Jamaica to become the Prime Minister of Jamaica. I mean, that's mind-boggling to say the least. Those are my views on the topic, and we have a good opportunity now where this is concerned. As a matter of fact, I think Mr. Golden should recuse himself from any further discussion from the constitutional discussion based on his citizenship, based on the fact that he's maintaining, as he put it, 1 foot in the king's land or king's country. He should recuse himself from any further conversation, because, as they say in legal terms, he doesn't approach it with clean hands. He has a direct attachment. Probably have the PNP select a group that will speak on their behalf, or have Mr. Patterson speak on behalf of the party, because anything now, from my perspective and from a lot of Jamaicans would be suspect where he's come, especially how everything came out and how the process in terms of how the information came out. I think he should recuse himself from any further discussion on this matter, and certainly if he intends to be PM, not wait for the people to demand of him giving up his citizenship, but he doing that. And just regarding the court, our final court, I believe that should be put to a referendum. I know it's not required, but it should be put to a referendum and for us to vote on it, because what was it, 25% or 26% of Jamaicans voted in the last election. So certainly our political parties, even though they think that they represent Jamaica, they don't represent 3/4 of what the views of what Jamaica is. So put that to a referendum too. Let us vote on it and decide as what we want. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Dervan, and really appreciate it. Yes, let us not approach this from a crab in the barrel perspective. We can talk about it. While all of us didn't attend Manning School, we still can discuss it in a civil manner. Thank you, Dervan.
Thanks for the call. All the best to you and our fellow Jamaicans in Canada and beyond. Thank you. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Let's see the messages that have come in since the last time we checked. Franklin McDonald from Guelph in Canada, sharing with us nativism or nativism, political term. And this one says, good evening, Dervan. Still afternoon where we are, but if it is evening where you are, no problem. The message goes on to say, this Prime Minister of Jamaica is digging the dirt to stay in power. If the Constitution allows for dual citizens to sit in Parliament, why they're going against the Constitution and they swear that we will uphold the Constitution? That means they are acting contrary to the Constitution, and that not good. They must uphold it. Lawrence in Cayman. Thank you for your perspective, Lawrence in Cayman. Neville, otherwise known as Salah, says, Dervan, blessings. Why was the JLP and their leader did not question Manley's citizenship? Michael Manley's mother was an English woman, where that means he was a dual citizen. The JLP, they need to force their leader to make his declarations available to the public. Mark Golding's father was an Englishman, came to Jamaica 1953. Mark Golding, born at the University Hospital, and has never lived outside of Jamaica. That message from Neville, otherwise known as Salah. Thank you for your message. And there are the usual messages from Calvin in North York, Ontario, Canada. Rohan Johnson of Atlas Ocho Rios in touch with us as well. Thank you very much for connecting, Rohan. And this one from Glacier, she says, morning, although it's afternoon now. I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to follow up on my email. Okay, this sounds like something we have to follow up off air. Yeah, we'll have to come back to this. Hold on, let's see. We'll have to check on this later. Can't go into that right now. Sorry about that. As we try to clear our backlog of messages here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. And taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Let's go to the break and come back with more in just a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:46 on Power 106.
Power 106 FM, the digital sound, and now reaching you in more ways. Listen to us on 106.1 to 106.9 on the FM band. You can also listen to us on the Power 106 FM app, which you could download on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can tune in on your mobile phones by dialing 631-359-8281 if you're in the US. And if you're in the UK, you can dial 0330-606-0953. Plus, listen to us on OneSpotMedia.com and the OneSpot Media app, or log on to go-jamaica.com. Power 106 FM, where all views can contend, giving you powerful talk radio in so many ways, on air and online.
Your parents is how you love yourself. Do unto others as they will do to you. Honor your mother got your face.
Here are a couple of other messages we missed. This one says, greetings, Mr. Dervan. Real constitution change should be we do not have dual citizens in our parliament. No person should be able to make laws in Jamaica and not required to abide by the laws they make. Michael Chamunda Williams. Blessings. Thank you for your comments. Thank you. Here's another one. This is much longer. We'll see how much of it we'll be able to share. This is quite lengthy, but let's see. Dervan, as a leader of a country, the decisions you make in forming policies and laws can have significant effects on the nation. Being a full-fledged citizen, you are more likely to prioritize decisions that benefit not just the individual, but the entire country, as both success and failure are shared collectively. Some bad policies may not be severe to warrant extradition if the individual has dual citizenship and chooses to leave. This echoes the Prime Minister's recent statement on accountability and the consequences of having dual citizenship. I urge all constituents, regardless of political affiliations, to reflect on how they would respond if the situation were reversed. Would there be different reactions based on who made the statements regarding dual citizenship and commitments to the country? Mr. Golding should renounce his citizenship if he's to become Prime Minister. Let us strive for honesty in our responses and address the hypocrisy that may exist on both sides of the political spectrum. It is essential to hold ourselves and our leaders to the highest standards of integrity and transparency. This one coming from the listener who goes by the moniker GBO. Here's one from GMAC in the Cayman Islands. Hi, Dervan. I agree with Lloyd when he stated that he wanted to move away from the king, but wants to remain part of the Commonwealth. I think we should either remain as is or make changes to leave the monarchy fully, and that includes excluding strangers from our parliament. From GMAC in the Cayman Islands. This one says a nation should be judged only, in brackets, by how it treats its highest citizens, but by how it treats its lowest citizens. Nelson Mandela, Gray versus City of Newark, New Jersey, USA. USA disobeying their own USA New Jersey court order in NJSA laws, but okayed with no due process, no changes, no trial opinion is fixed. Jamaican correct. Lack of intellectual responses by blacks and even by whites to such gross violations of cardinal rules is really disappointing. But a physical abuse like Floyd Nicholas Steers is quickly responded. Black and white intellects actions need but not to intellectual properties and processes. Not sure where this one is heading, but we've seen your message and we have read it as best as we could. Thank you. Let's go on. Is this line? Hold on. Let's go to the call coming through. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Hello. All right, that person maybe just fell asleep or something. Not hearing anybody on the other end of the line. So let's move on. Sorry about that. 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. And the text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Let's try this again. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Good afternoon.
Yes, at first I want to congratulate players in winning the National League and Mount Pleasant for coming second time championship honors for third, and Water also fourth. And I was disappointed with the bucket shooting incident, and I'm glad the girls are back now, the full squad at the Women's League, Dervan. For the Jamaican side, you know. And Dervan, you see, we dual citizenship, they should expand it to USA. Britain is the head of state. I wonder why people really need visa to get Britain. And you know I'm consistent because I support Shaheen, Daryl, and that's why I tell them level of intellect, you know. If you go through that, you shouldn't want it. Nobody else should go through it. You should try to change the law to be more inclusive, that other people don't have to go through the similar thing, you know.
We hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, and Dervan, Peter the S put argument about the constitutional reform. Say appear generalship. We have to read the good and the dictatorship intent, you know. Sometimes, you know, CCJ I'm not against, but we feel that when we were slavery, we had the guys that were like injustice and justice privy council. I believe we should have, whether CCJ, that we should still have the access to privy council, the higher level of justice. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against CJ, but I believe when we were slaves, they could move us to any country. Now, when we're in freedom, we have restriction. All them things that may disagree with, because if the King Charles and we had a state like Queen Elizabeth was, we shouldn't have to get visa for travel to England, because we then never need none. When we're in a handcuff and food chain and them things. And it's okay, white people have their history, black people have their history. We are Jamaican now. Out of many one, a Jamaican, and that's why I'm telling Grey Bird City in Jamaica must go read. And so we're fixing in America court, and then we'll despise the black man. They did it to Marcus Garvey, Mandela, and South African thing, but those who are defenders now that Jamaican is plenty for it all unusual for Andrew Oldness and Jamaicans and the black people in America. And plus border a license with injunction. Most people don't work like me in America and Dervan. They have a problem with me when white men, police, and to speak to me. Because when I'm working at border here, where there's a white millionaire or a black millionaire, and most white people, I speak as the authority person. That's probably most of the problem is because black man not supposed to speak back. You understand? Which is what I tell about the second class Democrats. You have a good day.
Okay, thanks for the call.
Be blessed.
Take care. Bye-bye. This is your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Let's see, here's a message from another of the messages we missed from Rudolph in Stony Hill. Mr. Malcolm, bless up. Everyday prices go up, and the Jamaican people blaming the government for that. They do not realize government has no control over the price of things because price controls have been removed. That is why our money can't have any use. Every day the price of things move up. Prices leave all up to the left, all prices left all up to the people. Then that the people who are doing business, says Rudolph in Stony Hill. Inflation has always been with us, and it will continue to be with us for some time to come, but it can be managed to some extent. Let's go to the phone lines once again, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Mr. Malcolm?
Yes, you're listening to the radio, perhaps. That's why you're hearing doubles.
Mr. Malcolm, yeah, I'm talking to Mr. Malcolm.
Yes.
Good afternoon. Yes.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Just want to kind of remind you that Mr. Edward Tiaga's mother was from Lebanon.
Okay, thanks for the information.
Okay.
This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm trying to, let me just
Good afternoon.
pull this computer down. Yes, good afternoon. Dervan, a lot of developments. We have developments on the whole constitutional question, reform of the Jamaican Constitution, which we spoke about last week. And there's also the aspect of the diaspora that I'd love to touch about, the vote. The vote that the diaspora has not been given, which is something that should be done with earnest. Let's go to something a gentleman said earlier, being from New York. I totally disagree. I believe that it is important, since we've been down this road before.
Sorry.
What the Jamaican
Hold up.
Constitution says.
One moment, please. One moment.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
Mass party, I owe your pepper and tomato feel a shine so like morning star.
Wait. Then you not hear about the new mighty side name Pega Star from Caribbean Chemicals? I hit the use, man. And from me start use it, why the results is so tremendous.
Make me go grab a bottle of Pega Star up at the farm store there.
Star up your field with Pegastar, Mighty Side Insecticide, 2-in-1. Be safe, read the label, wear your PPE. Pegastar, distributed by Caribbean Chemicals and available at farm stores island-wide.
Do unto others as they would do to you. Honor your mother got your days may be long from the land. Children obey your parents in the law. This is the law and the prophets.
Thanks for holding. Please go ahead.
Yes, all well-meaning
well-thinking, contemplative Jamaicans want to see a reformed constitution that's not symbolic. We don't want a little sham ceremonial president. We want a constitution that reflects more empowerment for the Jamaican people, where we have a more accountable government, because we're not electing kings and queens. We are electing public servants. And what Jamaicans are saying now is that the present constitution that we have, which was drawn up, which was given to us really by the British colonial authorities, and which was really rubber stamped by Norman Manley, Buster Siaga, who was on the committee of the Constitution, and some other people, supposedly distinguished Jamaicans, that they didn't think that we could be first-class citizens. We would still have the appendage of the British colonial system hanging around our necks, and we refuse to get off of it. But we also expect that the JLP and the PNP would hear the call of the Jamaican masses of people. Remember, this constitutional change is going to go down for another 400 or 500 years until the next generation decide that they want to amend it or to throw it out completely and put something else. So this is the kind of historical moment, So we don't expect to see these two gentlemen, two parties sniping, turning it into a political, or we can score some points type of thing. We Jamaicans are fed up of that nonsense. Hence, as the Jamaican gentleman in Canada pointed out, that only a small amount of Jamaican people bother to vote, because the rest have concluded that the process is just cynical and it doesn't serve the people's interests. That's why more and more Jamaicans are not even bothering to vote. Right? So with this, Mr. Especially to Mr. Andrew Wallace, we're expecting that you will seize this moment and not come back with this political gimmickry. However, Mr. Holness, I agree with you that we ought to have these high offices, that particular office, to have a Jamaica. Don't have no dual allegiance. I don't care if you lived in the United States or wherever and you took citizenship. Jamaica. You say you are from Jamaica. This is the highest office in our land. And we expect that you're not going to have, even though we know that a lot of you have your foreign passports and foreign visa, where you can just run to foreign, get your medical health treated and all of that stuff. And you can go, you send your families who live high off the hog in foreign. We know that. But we are saying this is the littlest thing that we're asking. So Mr. Mark Golden, don't make this an issue. Because you're not sounding good. You're sounding very bungling, trying to justify why you want to turn your back on what the law of Jamaica says. Whether or not you're a Commonwealth citizen, I don't know why you would want to be holding on to this British nonsense. Michael Manley didn't hold on to it. And Michael Manley could have easily accessed whatever he wanted since his mother and so on and so forth. Now, the next thing, Mr. Malcolm, is this idea of what this constitutional reform is about. What exactly is the aim? Now, we know that Mr. Andrew Owners made an about turn. You remember what that about turn was, Mr. Malcolm?
About turn.
On this whole issue about constitutional reform. Let me quickly tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So it has been the position of the GLP that, first of all, they don't want to change the colonial court from out of Britain. They want it just the same. Siaga made a statement that He didn't think we were competent to have our own court, right? That I'm paraphrasing, of course. We know that what precipitated this embarrassment of Mr. Andrews was that in Barbados, the Bajans had made Rihanna a national heroine, Rihanna the singer. And at that time, the spotlight was on Barbados. And then at the same time, the Barbadian Prime Minister also abolished the monarchy nonsense in what was termed Little Britain, Barbados, and instituted their own president, republic system. Jamaicans were learning that other Caribbean islands actually had it, which like places like Guyana, Trinidad had it quite a while. Okay, so now that made him, and there was a whole uproar on social media. I don't know if you remember.
I remember that much. Yes.
In language, it looked small and silly that Jamaica, which was supposed to consider themselves the leader in the Caribbean and blah blah, and we elevate ourselves and very showy at times and so on. So he decided that he was going to. He said that he was going to change it. Oh, don't worry, we're going to fix it, right? And we are saying, the diaspora is saying that you are not being transparent with what you are doing, and you're not listening to Jamaican people. Andrew Owens and Mark Olin, it's not about you and your guys. It's about the future of Jamaican generations. We agree, and unless you guys are tone deaf, that the Jamaican Constitution in its present form does not bring a participatory democracy to our people, and our people deserves that. What am I talking about? So we're talking about things like having different municipal arrangement. We want to have a directly elected commissioner of police in the different regions. Progressive ideas like that. We want to have the ability to recall, to petition, to take out a non-performing MP, put him back at the ballot if we are dissatisfied. We want to have a more participatory country. Everybody's doing it. Even in the great United States, they have a system that they can recall to what you, Andrew, is. You sit down up in Jamaica going on like you're some king. You know where we're coming from, Andrew is? You're not no king, man. Neither is Mark Olin. Listen to the will of the people. And Malahoo Ford, is a lady I like very much. But I'm deeply disappointed that you're just acting as a gatekeeper. Because you remember Dervan, that she was one of the persons who shook up the court, the complacency of the Jamaican court. Do you remember that incident?
Yes.
So we were holding comments that this lady is about Jamaica. Stop thinking that it's about you. It's not about you, Andrew Owens. You will be history eventually. And if you did nothing to really help the Jamaican people, you'll be like nothing, like every other gone into the rubbish heap of history. And this is why Michael Manley is so beloved, because Michael Manley tried to make fundamental changes that would benefit the Jamaican people. One of that change that Michael Manley did was the revolutionization of housing for the unhoused masses of Jamaican people who are coming off the plantation. Their descendants living in slum dwellings all over the island. Right? Even though I've seen where Andrew Holness and the PNP have destroyed that program, housing. But I don't want to go off on a tangent on the housing situation. We'll revisit it. But Mr. Holness, stop this thing. Mr. Holness, you are aware that Jamaican people are people with strong discernment. We're a strong, determined, we're not. Let me tell you, I've never heard so much negatives about any prime minister other than Edward Seaga. But the current on the street, all over the place, all in foreign, where you know Jamaican people are very laid back. That's the first thing I hear come out of people's mouth is what Andrew Holness is not doing in Jamaica. Right? Now, on this question about the voting, now, Dervan, are you aware of how many Jamaicans are domiciled overseas? Can you hazard a guess?
Easily much more, or many more than we currently have at home.
Exactly. And this is not conjecture. I've actually looked at surveys from the US, from Canada, the UK, and you are correct. I was shocked that so many Jamaicans are outside of Jamaica. Now, a great percentage of those Jamaicans are very patriotic people. You are aware of that, sir? You have concur on that?
I have experienced the patriotism over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, over 100 countries have extended the right to vote for their citizens overseas, right? Wherever their domicile. Over 100 countries. Now, including South Africa. Dervan, have you seen, you're familiar that there's an election underway in South Africa, are you?
No, I've been following the one in the UK. The announcement.
Yes, there's a very important election in South Africa. Now, Dervan, if you see the reports of thousands of South Africans who live overseas lining up to vote in the election in the UK, in Britain, in Germany, in the United States, all over the place. That story needs to be carried. And you know, I have to chide your media because your media not informing Jamaicans correctly, you know, to the extent that they should be. But anyway, if you see Dervan, the amount of people lining up to vote in the South African election.
People of South Africa on foreign soil, voting on foreign soil.
On foreign soil, exactly. On foreign soil. So I say this to say that the Jamaicans who, not every Jamaicans care about Jamaica that live overseas. We know that. Some Jamaicans couldn't care less. They give up. They not interested. We're talking about the Jamaicans, the patriotic Jamaicans.
Sorry, one moment, please. Let's come back to that after the break. One moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15. Farmers, want to increase the size of your fruits while maximizing your yield? Use Cytoplex. Cytoplex is a natural sea plant extract with cytokinin, auxin, and gibberellic acid that stimulates root development, lateral branching, flowering, and fruit development. Grow bigger roots and fruits with Cytoplex, the #1 root and fruit size enhancer. Cytoplex, distributed by Caribbean Chemicals and available at farm stores island-wide.
Your taxes hold the key.
Taxpayers. Select tax offices will be open this month and Saturday for your convenience. Conduct motor vehicle transactions, pay property tax or traffic tickets, renew your driver's license, or drop off the relevant documents at any of the following locations: St. Andrew, St. Anne's Bay, Montego Bay, Mandeville, or Savannah Lamar from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Portmore office remains open on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Visit www.jamaicatax.gov.jm or call 888-TAX-HELP for details. Tax Administration Jamaica, changing the way we do business.
I'm the prophet, honor your mother, the mother that you gave.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and let's continue listening to the previous caller who was on. He's still there, so let's go to him once again.
Yes, thank you very much for your indulgence.
Right.
Yes, so we and the United Nations have mentioned the importance of diaspora. The governments, successive governments, have claimed that they recognize the importance of diaspora in the development of the country. And don't forget, Mr. Holness and Mr. Bartlett, I'm sure knows very much, the tourism minister, that the diasporans are some of the biggest ambassadors for Jamaica in encouraging people to go and take vacation down there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, myself included. So we don't need to go over, but we need to educate our people on the island, because sometimes we don't appreciate our own people. We tend to sometimes be hypercritical just for the sake of being critical, or just sometimes because of lack of information, which is good, something that you do, Dervan. I have to commend you that you're always doing programs that value the work and contribution of the diaspora in the development of Jamaican society. It brings a lot. We don't forget our people. That's not us. And we, the Jamaicans, love our people. We want to see the place do well. We're not interested in getting anything. It's not self-aggrandizement. It's about seeing our next generation. It's about seeing our young people. When I see so many of our males in Jamaica drop into crime, and we are doing nothing as a society to rehabilitate these young people, to help these at-risk young people. I don't hear no youth policy from Mr. Andrew Holness. And I see him strutting up in Clark shoes and all of that nonsense, boasting and bragging. That's not what we need. Andrew Holness, you can be great. But it's not going to be great by just lip serving and trying to scam the people with what your intentions are about. You need to do the work. You can. Jamaicans is a set of people, If they love you, they will defend you to the end. And it's the most beautiful feeling to be loved by your people, especially when you make a difference in their life. We are a special generation. I'm not talking about the people who came to Jamaica in the 1900s. I'm talking about our people who were brought in chains onto that island, who got to our level of dehumanization. And we have built up Jamaica to where everybody wants to come and push your great in it. Those are the people, Mr. Holness. Those Jamaicans. So don't forget, Mr. Holness, where we Jamaicans coming from. It's not just about, profiling and clout chasing with the well-to-do and the people overprivileged and all of that. Remember those Jamaicans. Remember the market vendors. How can you have Dervan? How can Jamaica have these market vendors, these small business entrepreneurs in these horrific slave colonial era markets, and you have not modernized the market? I go to Winnipeg, and when I go to Winnipeg and I'm walking out, they take me to the market, and I'm saying to myself, but the same market could replicate in Jamaica. That's the same concept that we have down there. Why they don't build a modern structure? You're charging the people them to live to occupy, to sell in there. Why it have it dirty and stink? It's because there's only black people in there. Andrew Holness, you need to be answering these questions. And let me say something to these politicians, Mark Golden and all of you. You're not going to come to the diaspora overseas and get a little walk through and hug and smiley again, as you are noticing, right? That you are not going to see that attitude because you're failing our people and you're playing this game where you're going on like you're some big daddy You give us a little crumbs here and a little crumbs here. We want a proper constitutional reform, or else Andrew Owens, we are not going to sign off on this. And you can understand that is you and Mark cook up that little nothing burger constitutional reform you're coming with. Come with a proper thing. Allow the people to put their inputs and stop this playing around and this game mode who have. And I agree, as I said earlier, Dervan, I agree with the Prime Minister that you can't have you can't be serving in there with a foreign passport in your back pocket so openly. We know that you know hide under the thing, as I said earlier. And you know I'll have a foreign connection and an investment and a medical card to come to foreign and show great in the big hospitals. But you don't have the same sense of urgency with the hospital situation in Jamaica. But let me say this, Dervan. And I'm very passionate about this situation because when you are given an opportunity to do something, you must do it to the best of your ability, especially when you look at the faces of the Jamaicans, the young people, the promise of hope. We don't want everybody run out of Jamaica to go to foreign, to go catching a foreign, to go be third-class citizen in foreign. We want Jamaicans to be, we don't want just the foreigners come and take over the whole island and push around Jamaican people. We're reverting back to the colonial days in Jamaica. Andrew Holness, you need to be answering those questions. You're parading up and the Jamaican people take care of you. You can pile out in a big car, eat big food and whatnot. The least you can do is treat the Jamaican people with respect. Dervan, look at that convention center in Montego Bay that was built with Jamaican taxpayers' money, right? You build this big convention center, which is a white elephant. I think it was built by the previous government. A white elephant. You pour a lot of money inside of it. So you have some money and invest in Jamaica. Why can't you invest in some of those community? Give them a grant to tear down all those zinc fence you have the Jamaican people, like some 18th century slaves behind those barbed wire zinc fence. Hot like hell. Why you can't give those grants to those communities members so that they can improve on their house? Dervan, you know that $500, as measly as it is, can make a big difference to somebody in Jamaica. Were you aware of that, sir?
Yeah, man. The rate tells us that.
Yes. So why are we not doing? Listen, man. I see the Chinese, and I'm not a big admirer of the Chinese, but I respect their game, right? Chinese are Chinese, but you can learn some game from them. And I see in China, where the Chinese have extended their policies to pull people out of dire poverty and living conditions.
Yes, they've been on a mission for a while now on that. They have been on a mission, yeah.
And we used to do that. Michael Manley attempted that in Jamaica. That's how he came up with this revolutionary housing program to take out landless people. A few people will build Jamaica and get no reparation. And then now you want to come hold up keys like you're giving away at a raffle. And you won't stop that.
And we have to stop here for the time being. We still have some more calls.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for the call.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Dervan. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
How are you today?
Giving thanks for life. And you?
Well, I'm doing the same. I have a friend by the name of Ron. If Jamaica have at least 40%, I'm not going to make it easy. 40%. My friend Ron is a brighter boy. I mean, it's just the backup. Like the one with the high, the backup. If you make up, I think 40% of things change. But the people, like I said some time ago, are not curious enough and they are not looking into things. And if they don't be careful, I'm not saying that the Prime Minister or the leader of the opposition have any serious agenda. But sometimes their position causes them to be too diplomatic, and as a result, things will slip under the table without them seeing. But for me, down in Westmoreland and Scotia, I look at things, I'm seeing like something is creeping in to put us back into 1834. Maybe not on that level, but in a more diplomatic way. Therefore, like Carla before you said, Miss Marley knew that she respect a great deal, and I myself too. They need to fashion this thing in a way not for self-grandize, as he has intimated to, but in a way that it can leave a legacy, because whether they know it or not, if things don't go right, I've envisioned this place, I may not be around to see. I've envisioned this place becoming just like our neighbor and over there, another colony, not too far from here. If it don't fashion right, that's what I see. And believe me, this is in the air. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the call. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Hello? Did we lose that caller? Sorry about that. Please call again if you're still listening. In the meantime, some more messages have come in. Quite a few. This one says, good afternoon, Dervan. Did you know that on the government side, they have about 4 members sitting both in the upper and lower house with dual citizenship? And what good for the goose, good for the gander? Patrick in West Rural. Well, bring it to the fore, Patrick in West Rural. Bring it to the fore. And indeed to the floor. Let's see. And this one says, hi, Dervan. Let's be frank. We all acknowledge that opportunities in Jamaica are very scarce. As a Jamaican currently residing overseas, I hold a firm belief that dual citizens should not hold seats in our parliament. In my opinion, individuals who present themselves for parliamentary representation should commit to renouncing their citizenship after successfully securing a seat or running for the Senate. We'll come back to that message in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
Wine at your tongue. You know wine at your tongue. Drive smart, don't ramp. Wine at your tongue. If a 87 you pay use, put the 87 in your tongue. If you know which fuel you use, vehicle manual find it. Enough car in a Jamaica make for use 87. And a petrol refine. So use the RTN for the car where you're driving. And maybe tell you some more. If a 87 your vehicle use, you are rev up the savings for sure. Know your tank fuel right. Your pocket have a smile. Rev up the savings. Savings on every mile. Brought to you by Petrojam. Serving Jamaica's energy needs.
Yo, catch the man on the new car. Come in with Jenna, make with the road. Yo, bro, stop the foolishness. We don't need to drive so fast. Easy now, youth. You see the man a big driver. Road burn up here now. Yo, bro, stop the car and make me come out. You need to drive better.
Road safety begins with you. A message from the Road Safety Unit. Both sides of the story.
Confidence in those who serve, especially in the public sector, is vital to Jamaica's progress towards Vision 2030 and beyond. Many people have quietly and diligently given sterling service over the years to the benefit of many Jamaicans at home and across the world. Power 106 FM, in playing its part in showcasing those individuals who served in building our nation and to create greater public understanding and appreciation of their sacrifice, presents the feature Service Stalwarts. Listen to Service Stalwarts every Wednesday at 4 p.m. doing both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm right here on Power 106 FM.
Both sides of the story.
It's in the law. This is the law. I'm not protest.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Just to complete reading this message, too often aspiring candidates may not emerge victorious, leaving them in a position without their dual citizenship and the option to work outside of Jamaica without permits, etc. And this one, let's go to this call on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Call from David Crosburn. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dervan, and to you and all your listeners.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm just sharing in the discussion, but from a different angle. I think that as a country, we are losing the moment. We are at a point of at an inflection point in this stage of the journey, and we are losing the opportunity for us to change the whole dynamics
to flip it
of our country.
An opportunity to flip it, to
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. For example, some months ago, the United Nations Court of Justice calculate and determine that Jamaica is to receive $9.4 trillion as reparation for the genocide and also as cost to cover not only the genocide but for the labor. Over the period, we made some 5 million tons of sugar from 1,062 sugar factories that was made labor-free. And all those calculations, in part, was taken into the 9.4 trillion. What steps are we making to recover this amount of money? I cannot understand it. It baffles me to see that that money is there for us and we are not taking the steps. We are thinking that they will pay us the money. No. See what is happening in England right now. England will be having an election. And the dynamics are changing. You have 2 wars plus other turbulent situations. The time is very turbulent. Why cannot we come together as a people and say, I set it out in a document and I invite people to just read it. Please, just go to the Gleaner archives David Cosburn letter of December 16th, and I put my thoughts there, and I've sent it around, and I hear no discussion, and all the discussion I hear is that we are going to delegation to go to England and to discuss, and this little piecemeal over there, this little piecemeal over here, and we will never fulsomely put a strategic move together to recover. It's simple. In my view, it's simple to recover based on my understanding of the history and the journey. I just go back to the start of the journey. The Spanish came and conquered our land. They came, they saw 60,000 Taínos. They decimated those 60,000 Taínos to the point that when the British came, only 12,000 were left. Simply, though they put those people into groups, and they were not accustomed in the groups of 30. If you read it, it's there. They put them in groups of 30 to work, and they were not accustomed to that. And if you study carefully the name of one of the Taínos who worked at the sugar factory in Seville, St. Anne, if you examine his name carefully, it tells you a lot of story that we as a people could look at. But beyond that now, move from that to the point when the British, before the British took us over, they came in 1643. And as you have recalled on your program, they came and they took 2,000 pieces of aid from Jamaica and took it away from our country. 2,000 pieces of aid. Do we know how much that, what value it was to us at that time? And beyond that, they raided Spanish Town, took 4,000 persons left from England, and they built up the size of the troops to 7,000, come over run Jamaica. They applied brimstone, 10 pounds of brimstone and 14 pounds of saltpeter. That what is the strength of that bomb that they use to gain possession of us and to colonize us. And we have now the opportunity to recover what the United Nations Court of Justice, 9.4 million. I'm saying, let us change our perspective going forward. I would think, personally, from my heart, that we should willing to accept this over a 30-year period and make our development budget with 0.33 trillion US dollars as the development part of our budget. And whether they want to pay or not, we go ahead, we notify the United Nations, we notify the World Bank, we notify all the authorities, and go forward and march and change our society, make the society be what we better. This debate what we're having now, it's better we spend the next 2 years and decide what kind of country we want. The British says that the British says to us long before the king came, we were ruled under Cromwell. At the time when Cromwell came to capture Jamaica, the British had rejected the monarchy. There was no monarchy in place when the British came to overthrow Jamaica. The monarchy, the British had rejected it. They tried King Charles I, the Chief Justice who tried King Charles I, was interred in England. They exhumed his body and took his body to inter it in Jamaica, signalizing to us that Jamaicans is a place of rest. Jamaica is a place of peace. Jamaica is a place of justice. Then why are we going back to what those signals have shown us? Because look at it. Why would they inter the British-born Chief Justice? He was born in England. He's an Englishman. And yet they exhumed his body and bring his body here to Jamaica. That was from in the 1600s. Signaling to us that we're a place of justice. So it baffles me and it pains my soul to see it. And like I was telling you, I'll go back quickly to what the matter I raised with you. I got quite a bit of ridicule for raising that matter on our records, or personal records. I won't go into the detail of it, but it only strengthens my point, the point that I made on your program. You can go back and listen to that program. From that time I was calling out and saying our personal records is to be looked at in a different manner. It should be encrypted, and some part of our personal record should not only be encrypted, it should be deeply encrypted. And no, not any and anyone, not despite it is a public record, it should be only the encryption, the deeply encrypted part of it, only should be accessed by the person. Put it this way, the record belongs to the citizen. The citizen is the citizen's record. But the government is the keeper, is the holder of the record. But the owner is the citizen. It's like the land. The citizens don't own the land. The citizens hold the land, and the government owns it. So I'm saying for a personal record, there should be a similar encryption, deep encryption, and only can be accessed by certain protocols. We should have an improved protocol to cover our personal record. We have those systems.
No.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for the. Take care.
All the best.
You too. Bye-bye.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45. Come to the Westmoreland Agricultural Show, Sunday, June 2 at Bay Road, Little London, Westmoreland. There'll be agricultural and industrial displays, Kids Village, Health Village, Youth and Agriculture Village, Local Economic Development Village, Farmers Market, tree crops and ornamental plants on sale, entertainment all day, prizes and surprises, and much more. Gates open at 8 a.m. Admission adults 1,000, children 500. Major sponsors Bamboo Bioproducts, Icon Importers and Distributors Limited, and Mapex. See you at the Westmoreland Agricultural Show, Sunday, June 2 at Bay Road, Little London. This June 16 to 19 will be a momentous homecoming at the 10th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference. Immerse yourself in the conference and take advantage of the government at your service feature. Access express services to get your passport, driver's license, NHT returns, TRN, and so much more. It all happens on the spot. Register today and learn more at diasporaconferenceja.eventbrite.com. Sponsored by JN Group, VM Group, and Grace Kennedy. A message from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5, and the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. How are you today?
I am fine, thanks. And you?
Very good. I am so proud of you on your program. But I would like to tell Jamaican people that we are coming from a long way. And where we are now, we are very beautiful. We cannot go back to the old days when I used to walk 10 miles to school. No shoes. And when you have a family of one child with a husband and a wife, it's much easier to take care of than when you have 10 kids. So I'm saying this to say that I always say to my mom, how did she do it? But when I look back into life, when I was growing up, Jamaica was 1 million people. Now we are almost 3.5 million. How can they expect we to be the same? You need money to take care of the family. You need money to take care of Jamaica. I understand some of the money is being wasted, but there are so many roads to be fixed. So many cars are being crushed and mashed up and going all the way back to the garage. We have to get the road fixed. People need to drive on smooth roads. Spending all this money on cars and yet it don't last you for a year. So I'm just saying, sir, people, there's so much changes going on in the whole world. People have to look up for Jesus Christ that in these times it will be worse. We are going to have the money and can't even spend it. There ain't going to be no food to eat. Everybody crying about Jamaica. We love Jamaica. They're not taking care of Jamaica. They fix the drains today. Tomorrow they block it up with all the bottles. They don't care. Expect the government must come and give them everything at their table. It doesn't work like that. People are just not sharing how they are to share. Everybody just want. Give it to me. What about those who don't have? And I know from Michael Manley, Buster, everybody have it hard. Coming up to now, Jamaica is doing beautiful. And I'm just telling them it's going to be harder. Seek Jesus, seek love, and seek peace. And all these gunmen who trying to kill all the fathers, left their kids, and then they all turn to gunmen too. Guys, throw away the gun. Let's live in peace. Let life goes on. How long can you run? When you get catch, you'll be sorry for yourself. And the next thing is, when a wicked gunman come out and kill every people, there are so much people trying to demonstrate. What about the good policeman who is being killed? What about the good merchant? The good businessman? The good lawyer? Just 2 days ago they killed the news reporter. My God! Are they thinking that people have to live until God wants them to leave this land? What can the security minister do to curb all these crimes when Some people have their brother, their father, everybody's in the system know that they're a gunman and they don't report it. Huh? They're driving around in cars just shooting up people. People are scared to come to Jamaica because they just think they might get killed. But I'm just saying, Jamaicans, wake up. Seek Jesus first. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. Seek Jesus. He's the master of the universe. No kings and queens and princes and whatever they call him, prime minister can help you now. They are just doing what they can do to make you survive. Help yourself. Let us build Jamaica beautiful while we help ourselves. Bless you, Mr. Malcolm, and have you a blessed day.
You too. Thanks for the call. All the best.
Yes, sir.
Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. And we still have a little window to take a few more calls. Feel free to call us on 876-922-4112 to 5, 876-922-4112 to 5. And the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Franklin McDonald says, please congratulate the KHOR, KHOR, who is now on 410 to 420, is aspirations for Jamaica being a modern state need to be commended and supported by your listeners. Thank you very much for the message. This one says, good afternoon, Durban. Siaga was on the Constitution Council and didn't see it fit to construct a more people-friendly constitution. And I was shocked this morning when data was brought to me to show that remittance was the greatest contributor of foreign exchange to the Jamaican economy and was 150% to that of tourism. I call upon Jamaica to elect a member of the diaspora to the upper house. The Jamaicans living overseas should be allowed to vote electronically. The government has denied the right of our overseas brothers and sisters. I don't believe Andrew Holness can be great again because the Jamaicans, home and abroad, have no respect for him and this corrupt government. Golding will have to take the role of Lee Kuan Yew, the late Prime Minister of Singapore. And let's go up the line here. Other messages. Sir Malcolm, the opposition leader, doesn't have to renounce any British citizenship until we remove the Constitution. Mr. Golding has all the rights to sit in the Jamaican Parliament as a Commonwealth citizen. And then reference is made to one of the participants who goes by the moniker GBO. GBO needs to do some education and a training along with the JLP administration. Sir Malcolm, tell GBO we don't need another Governor General. We need an executive president, not a ceremonial president. That's dictatorship, says Cuban in Georgia. And I think we're going to leave it here for now. Just a few more messages. Let's see. This one says, "Hi, Dervan. Let's be frank. We all acknowledge that opportunities in Jamaica are very scarce. As a Jamaican currently residing overseas, I hold a firm belief that dual citizens should not hold seats in our parliament. In my opinion, individuals who present themselves for parliamentary representation should commit to renouncing their citizenship after successfully securing a seat or running for the Senate. Too often, aspiring candidates may not emerge victorious, leaving them in a position without their dual citizenship and the option to work outside of Jamaica without permits, etc." So people are sharing their thoughts, and we're trying our best to go through a few of the messages. Well, can we thank the privilege of serving you on your edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Friday, the 24th of May, 2024. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns Monday afternoon, 2 to 5. But please feel free to join us if you're up tomorrow morning between 6 and 9 for the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm wishing everybody a safe and peaceful weekend.
Law, this is a law on the prophets. Honor your mother, the father that you gave me belong on the land. Children obey your parents in the law. This is a law on the prophets. Love your parents as how you love yourself. Do unto others as they will do to you. Honor your mother, the mother that your days may belong on the land. Children obey your parents in the law. This is the law and the prophets. Love your parents as how you love yourself. Do unto others as they do to you. I am mother, the mother that your days may belong on the land. Children obey your parents in the law. This is the law and the prophets.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
Bye.
News, comprehensive, powerful